Hi, welcome back to Therapy Designs. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kelly, and this channel is all about creating passive income with print on demand. So if that is a subject that you're interested in, please do stick around. So in today's video, I'm going to do something a little bit different. So I'm not talking exclusively about print on demand, but probably about why a lot of people got into print on demand. So if you're like me, you discovered print on demand when you were looking for some way to make supplemental income. And so at least that's my story. So I am a physical therapist. I work as a physical therapist. That's my main source of income right now. But in this really challenging economy right now, and with student loans and all of that, it is just not enough to pretty much it's not enough to live on, which is sad to say. And so I was looking for ways that I could make some supplemental income. And having a small child meant I couldn't just go out and get another job. I had to have something that I could do that was flexible in terms of time and something that I could work at home and do. And so that's kind of what got me started on the print on demand journey, if you will. And so a lot of people, I think that may be their story too, is they're looking for ways that they can make additional income. If not, ways that they can completely replace their job and go all in on things like print on demand and business and just being an entrepreneur. And so I wanted to do a little bit of a talk, just briefly about different income streams. I'll show you my different income streams and, help you so that you can, try to maximize, your income. And so when we talk about income, there's different types of income. And so I'm going to go over that with you as well. So some of you may recognize this right away. This is the cash flow quadrant. If you're not familiar with it, there's actually a book called Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. He also wrote the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book and tons of other ones. I do recommend reading his books. He's got a bunch of books that are all very helpful, especially Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Cash Flow Quadrant are two of the best. And it really helps you, learn about income, different types of income, and how to maximize your income, which I think is why everybody started this. And so the cash flow quadrant, I'll go over really quickly if you're not familiar with it. You've got your quadrant. The E quadrant is for employees. So if you work a job and you work for somebody, you're an employee. You're used to working and getting paid a certain dollar amount per hour or, however you are. And you've got your security. As long as you have your job, you're getting your monthly paycheck or your weekly paycheck or whatever it is, and you are an employee. And that is, for some people, their only source of income, and that's it. Then you've got your small businesses. Small businesses would be small entrepreneurs, and so that's where our print on demand is going to fall. Small business, you're your own boss, which is, great. And the good news is you can, make usually as much or as little money as you want. And so there are people who fall strictly into small business. B for big business, and that's probably not too many people watching this channel, I wouldn't think, but big business would be somebody who owns a business with 500 or more employees. And so that would be something like the owner of Target or Walmart or McDonald's. Those are all big business people. And then you have investors. And investors, what I love about this is investors have their money work for them. So they put money into whatever their investment is, and their money makes money. And so it's less about them working and more about their money making money. Cool thing about that is that's how you become financially independent. That's how you say, hey, I don't have to work anymore. I have enough money coming in to support me forever. And they can do that with their investments. Unlike if you're an employee, you have to keep working. As soon as you stop working, your income stops. Or if you have a small business and you need to be there to run that business, as soon as you stop working, your income kind of stops. Investors, what I like about that is, your money is making money. And so you don't have to do anything. If you've got your money in, like, let's say the stock market, and it's, paying out dividends, you've got money coming in and you're not having to do anything for it. And so, that was a really cool concept for me when I first read that. And so if you're not familiar with that and you want to read the book, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Cash Flow Quadrant. And I will tell you this right now, I found the audiobooks for free on Amazon, not Amazon, YouTube. So I listen to a lot of books on tape for free on YouTube, usually in my car while I'm driving. Is an easy way that I can listen to them. And so that's a great way for you to, learn some more about any topics that you like. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about the different quadrants and go over so that you understand what my income is, what my income streams are, so that you can hopefully help build your own income streams as well. So you want to have, the more income streams you have, the more different ways money is coming to you, the more money you have. So it's pretty easy. If I've got money coming from here, but then I've got money coming from here, and I've got money coming from here, it all adds up. So it's fun to have lots of different income streams, which was also a concept that was new to me not all that long ago. And so right now I'm an employee. I'm a physical therapist. That is my job. The pros, you have a certain amount of security. I know I'm going to get a paycheck every month. I know exactly what that paycheck's going to be. I get my health insurance, my benefits through my job. I have a 401k through my job. So, that is something that, a lot of people are attracted towards, having jobs, just regular jobs and being an employee. But there's a lot of cons to that. And so at least for me, there's absolutely no growth opportunity. I'm a physical therapist. That's it. If I continue to do this for the next 10, 15 years, I would still just be a physical therapist. And I would still be making the exact same amount of money. In fact, what is really sad about my particular industry is that as inflation goes up, our pay does not. So I know therapists that have been working for 20 years and they're still getting paid the exact same amount that they were 20 years ago. And obviously things have gotten way more expensive in the past 20 years. So they just keep getting poorer and poorer and poorer. And that's because we can't just raise our prices. Insurance dictates our prices. So unless insurance decides that they suddenly want to pay us more, we're kind of stuck. And in fact, as inflation goes up, we're spending more on things like rent and equipment and all of that. And insurance isn't reimbursing anymore. And that's why you see, doctors and therapists and everybody else having to see more and more patients in less and less time, just to keep up with inflation because they're not getting paid enough by insurance companies. And so that's one really big problem. And then, of course, student loans are very expensive. For me particularly, if you want to be a physical therapist, it's a doctorate level degree, and doctorate degrees are not cheap. You're going to get student loans. And I have been paying my student loans for over 10 years now, and I have barely touched the principal. And so with that in mind, it's like, I'm not getting paid a lot, and I've got massive student loans, and there's inflation, and things are getting more and more expensive. And I hit that point where it's like, okay, I got to find a way to make some supplemental income because I can't afford to live anymore. And so that's, again, like what got me into looking for print on demand, looking for, other ways to make some supplemental income. And then the last con of being an employee, which I think is a big one here, is you don't really have any freedom. You work set hours. You have to show up every day from this time to this time, and that is it. And especially, again, for my industry, we can't just like call in sick if we don't feel good, because I have patients scheduled, and my patients are scheduled pretty far out. I get patients that schedule 2 months out. And so if I was to call out sick, they'd be canceling, 16 patients in a day. So we show up even if we're dying typically, and that's most healthcare professionals. And so for like me, I almost never go on vacation. I never call out sick. I'm always at work because I don't want to ruin anybody's appointment. They've got appointments, and I want to make sure that they get seen. And so there's absolutely just no freedom whatsoever. You're very locked into a specific schedule. And so there's plenty of cons to being an employee. There is a ceiling to how much you can grow with most jobs. And so, yeah, you've got your security, your monthly paycheck, which may not be enough, but then you've got all of these cons. And so that's what made me look at other ways of making income. So that was the E quadrant. So now I want to talk about the S quadrant, and that is small business. And that is where the print on demand is, and where I've got some other things. So listed on the left here are all of my income streams from the small business side. And so you can see there are a lot of different income streams listed on the left. And I do have a video coming up where I talk about a lot of the Amazon ones a little bit more in depth. So I do sell on Amazon merch. I sell on Amazon Seller Central or via Seller Central, and those are both using print on demand. One is Amazon's print on demand. The other, I use integrations like Printful and just sell through the regular seller portal. I'm also on Amazon KDP. I'm also an Amazon influencer, and so that pays money. I'm on Amazon Vine, and I'll talk a little bit more about the Vine program in another video. But Vine, you don't really get paid income. What you get is free products. And so you're getting paid, just not in money. I also sell on Etsy, which again is using print on demand, and I use Printful and Printify as integrations to sell on Etsy. I also sell on Redbubble. Obviously, I have this YouTube channel, and the way the YouTube channel will pay you is you'll get payments from Google Ads. So that's what the advertising is, and so you get paid a little bit for that. And then I have affiliate links too, and so if somebody clicks on a link and buys something, you get paid a certain, percentage. And so some of them are pretty small income streams, but again, they add up. And so a little bit here, a little bit there, it all helps. And so that's a lot of income streams, which is really confusing come tax time. But no, it's fine. I got a tax person. I do have to have a tax person. But yeah, lots of different income streams, some bigger than others. Right now, Amazon merch is the top of the top. And I think it has just the most potential. But again, I can talk about that a little bit more in another video. But those are my, small business income streams. Oops, sale. Pros to the small business. Unlimited growth. What I love about this is there's really no limit to how much money you can make on these. So for example, on Amazon merch, you could have millions of shirts, not millions of shirts. You could sell millions of shirts in a day. There's no like top, ceiling for how many you can sell. If you have a shirt that's really doing well and you've got people around the world wanting to buy it all of a sudden, you can make a ton of money. There's no like, this is how much you make and you'll never make any more. It's unlimited growth. And, the more you put up, the better your chances, the more money you make. It's very motivating, by the way. You start to lose motivation in sometimes employee type jobs because you're like, well, I can work more, but they're not paying me anymore, and you don't really have the drive. But with small businesses, you usually have a lot of drive because you want to succeed, you want to grow, and you are the one in charge of that growth. You're the boss, so you don't have to answer to anybody, which is always nice. I think a lot of people like that. And for me, if you have an online business, you can work from anywhere, and that's the pro of an online business. So I can work from home, which is great. If I was to go on vacation, I could take my laptop with me and work anywhere I wanted to. I can work from the clinic if I don't have any patients and I'm sitting at my desk. I can, work on my print on demand stuff at work. But these are things you can do. You can work anywhere, anywhere you can take your computer, and so that's great. Now the cons, there's no security. You're not guaranteed a paycheck. You're not guaranteed to make any kind of certain amount of money. And typically it takes a long time to build, to a substantial amount of money because it takes a while to build a portfolio and whatnot. And of course, you don't have the benefits. I don't have my health insurance or anything like that. I'd have to pay for that if I didn't have my employee job. But again, that's why I have lots of different income streams. And then lastly, for me, is the investor quadrant. So I'm not in the big business quadrant yet. So that one I just kind of take out. But the investor quadrant, so that would be things like if you own stocks, ETFs, cryptocurrency. So I have all of those. So I do have stocks, I do have ETFs, and I do have cryptocurrency. And I do have Amazon stock, by the way. And so those are investments. You can also invest in real estate. I haven't done that yet. And you can also invest in things like silver and gold. And so lots of different investments out there. And, those are ways that you can have your money making money, right? So again, pro, unlimited growth, right? You can, theoretically, you can keep making more and more and more money, and there's no ceiling to it. And it can lead to financial freedom where you can make enough money off of your investments, ideally to never have to work again. Con, well, it takes time for the money to grow, and you have to have money to invest. So if you don't have any extra money to invest, that can make it kind of tough. If you don't have a lot of time to let your money grow, that's a little bit that's a little irritating if you need money like now and you don't want to wait 30 years for your investments to grow, for example. And then, of course, it can be risky, right? There's no guarantee that the stock market is always going to go up. There's ups and downs with crypto, ups and downs with real estate. And so, there can be risk. You can put a lot of money in there and potentially lose it. And so you do have to factor in the pros and the cons and all of that. And so that is my take on the different cash flow quadrants. And that is an example of all of what I would say my income streams are. So if I was just to kind of, look through everything, I've got, my job income stream. I've got 6 income streams from Amazon, which includes the Amazon stock, by the way. I've got Redbubble income stream, Etsy income stream, affiliate income stream, YouTube income stream. So, I've got, like 10 different income streams. And again, there's the big ones and there's the little ones, but they all add up to help grow your income so that it grows every year and doesn't just stagnate. You do want your income to grow every year because guess what? Inflation is growing every year. And so if you have any questions about this or comments about this, you can put it in the comment section below. I try to get back to everybody as quickly as I can. I don't know if this was a helpful video for you guys. When I first learned about different income streams and maximizing income streams, I found it incredibly helpful for me. So I don't know how many of you this is new to, or how many of you are just like, yeah, I'm already doing all of that. But it's a good idea to have multiple income streams. And I will talk in another video about the different Amazon income streams, and I'll be a little bit more specific there. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're making a lot of money, a lot of sales. I hope you're being very creative, and I hope you're, continuing to grow that portfolio. And I do hope to see you guys again. That's it for today's video. If you found that useful and would like to see more videos with helpful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the weekly videos. As always, keep growing and stay creative, and we'll see you next time.